everybody just jumps on the bandwagon and they decide to be black or white. Either they are doing it or they hate it, and nobody walks down the middle. So today I want to talk a little bit, thank you so much for sharing. I want to talk a little bit about why and how the smoothie came about. So we're going to go all the way back to the 1800s, if you can believe that. So in 1885, actually, the milkshake was invented. Now, who doesn't love a milkshake, right? I mean, it's one of those things that I've given up, but oh my goodness, I love milkshakes. So the milkshake was invented. It was actually, I know, right? It was actually invented as a hangover cure. Can you believe that? So people would go get drunk, they'd wake up the next morning and they would have a milkshake. Now, I cannot think of anything more disgusting than that, but apparently that is why it was invented. That's why it was invented in the first place. So yes, in the 1890s, I don't know what you're saying sorry for, but if that's because you're harassing me already, no, I'm kidding. In the 1890s, it became a malted milk, and in the 1890s, they actually promoted the beverage as a health drink for infants, the malted milk. So that's where we get the malts from. That happened in the 1890s. So they were saying that it was good for infants, probably using it as a substitute like for breast milk or something like that, which is probably not exactly true, but I haven't done my research, but I'm guessing my hunch is that it is not great for infants. But that's how it was marketed. It was actually marketed to parents as an infant formula. So, and that's where, I know, right? That's where the malted milk came from. In 1922, the commercial blender actually came about. So yeah, Ovaltine, exactly. You're spot on there, Evan. So the commercial blender came about, and that's when we started getting malt shops. Sorry. We started getting malt shops. And so in 1922, the blender commercially came out. They started making malt. So you can already see we're starting to take ingredients. I know, right? We're starting to take ingredients and we're starting to mix them together and experimenting with what you could put in that blender and make amazing things with. So in the 1930s, 1937 to be exact, the home blender came about. So you could actually have a blender in your home at that point. And so people started making malts and milkshakes at home. So the malt shop started fading and the soda shop started fading a little bit. And if you remember, if you think back in movies or books or whatever you have been exposed to, you guys are hearting it up. Thank you so much. You've been exposed to, if you think back to that, you will realize that most of these malt shops and soda shops and stuff were in a pharmacy. So we think about pharmacy, we think about going there to get something to make us healthy. And so all of a sudden, a soda or a malt is healthy, so it's associated with that. Yep, absolutely right. So that's where the evolution started of this. So we have a blender. What do we put in the blender to, I know, so true, right? So we put in the blender to make us healthy. In the 1970s, they started making what they would call fruit shakes. Okay, we'll see you in a minute, Ellen. We'll wait for you right here. We'll be here when you come back. So in the 1970s, we started adding fruit to those. So we started getting fruit shakes. So that was basically going to be like, I'm sorry, I'm looking down at my notes. I apologize. That would be like ice milk that they would add they would add fruit, and then they would add fruit juices, and we would have fruit shakes. And that started becoming really, really popular as well, and that was in the 1970s. In the 1990s, we moved on using the frozen yogurt. Uh-oh, lawnmower went on. Oh well, you guys are gonna have to listen to the lawnmower in the back. Hey, good morning. Hey, Tag Tribe's in the house. So they started putting frozen yogurt in there with the fruit, and so then we started getting fruits and yogurts, and so then they realized in the the 2000s, and today we realize that we can freeze our fruit and we can make these amazing products that are full of antioxidants and full of nutrients, but you have to be careful because they can also be full of sugars, and people put things in there that should not be in smoothies. So that is a quick history of how we got to smoothies today, and they are such a fad. Everybody's making a smoothie. I mean, I wish I owned a blender company, because people that own blender companies have gone downtown, gotten rich. I mean, it's gone crazy nuts. Everybody has this blender. You know, most of us have a $500 blender or a $200 blender. Very few of us have a $20 blender anymore. We've made an investment in our blenders so that we can make these smoothies, which I personally will recommend that you do, because smoothies are a great way to start your health journey. If you have not started yet, if you are sitting on the fence and you're wondering, you know, how do I even begin to start eating healthy? How do I even begin to get those, you know, righteous, amazing foods in my body? A smoothie is a great way to do it. So I have to tell you that I have been a picky eater my entire life, and this is no joke. Anybody who knows me, my parents are sitting right beyond this camera. I can see them out of the corner of my eye, and they will tell you that I have been a meat and potatoes girl my entire life. Bread, meat, and potatoes, and some cheeses. And that was it. You could not get a green, yeah, no, that's very true. You could not get a green vegetable past my lips until I was about 25 or 30 years old. I would not eat them. I didn't even like salad. And so it was actually, I was in my 20s because I went vegan. And so that was a huge switch up for me. So I had to, I forced myself to learn to like vegetables at that point, but still, yeah, you can hire somebody. You can get a blender, it will preach you. So I was, I know, you would have been so mad at me. You would have not liked me at all. Christine would have been like, you are out, we're changing that diet. So when I had cancer, I really started, I can remember the Thanksgiving before I had cancer, okay? I was diagnosed right before Christmas. The Thanksgiving before I had cancer, Robin, my husband, wanted Brussels sprouts. And I was like, that is so gross. Who can eat Brussels sprouts? Yeah, that's right. You're exactly right. I can't believe you want to eat Brussels sprouts. That's so disgusting. But yes, I will figure out how to make Brussels sprouts, and I will make them for you, and they'll be your special Thanksgiving treat. So I made them, and I couldn't believe how disgusting they smelled. It was just gross to me. So bingo, cancer. That Christmas, that very Christmas, I was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer, and stage 1B actually. And I thought my world was falling apart. And so I hired a naturopath, and he was like, well, you got to start eating this stuff. And I was like, I am not eating that stuff. He's like, well, you got to start. You got to start, or this cancer is going to take over. And I was like, oh, well, that's not going to happen. And so I taught myself, and I learned to cook these vegetables in ways that made them more appealing to me. And so then I became a vegetable. But it all started, my health journey started with that smoothie. It started with getting more fruits and vegetables, because I've always been a picky fruit eater. If it's not perfectly perfect, I'm not eating it. If it has a brown spot, I'm not eating it. If that banana is not perfectly yellow, I'm not eating it. And so that's how picky I was. And so smoothies opened up that door for me and allowed me to get all of these different fruits and vegetables. So diva, no doubt. I mean, to the max. A little bit, still a little bit of a diva. Just a little bit. Not like just a little bit. So, not really. I'm not really a diva at all. But so this is a great way. So here's some reasons. Here's some reasons why that you should be thinking about getting smoothies in your life, okay? And starting a smoothie regimen. Number 1, you get your daily allowance. If you're now this, let's step back just a second here and say these are not smoothies where you just throw a bunch of stinking fruit in there and pile a bunch of sugar on top of it and whip it all together and call it a smoothie. That is not a smoothie, that is a fruit shake. So you can't be throwing a bunch of fruit juices and stuff down in there and making it and going, oh, I'm drinking a smoothie. That is not a healthy smoothie. Yes, it's a smoothie, but it's not a healthy smoothie. So this week, is the week that we are going to actually talk about what makes a healthy smoothie. But today we're just going to go through the whys, and then we're going to go through the smoothie components. I'm going to lay those out for you, and then the rest of the week we're going to take those components one by one and delve a little bit deeper into there. So sorry about the lawnmower, by the way. We're out in nature, so you're going to get a lawnmower. So number 1, if you're eating a healthy smoothie, okay, the kind we're going to talk about this week, you're getting your daily allowance sometimes, not all the time, of fruits and vegetables, especially fruits typically. But you're getting a lot of your vegetables out of the way as well. Number 2, they're quick and easy. They're so easy. They're easy. You do not have to be a cook. You do not have to be a chef. You just need a blender, and you need a freezer, water and some other things, very few things, to make a smoothie. They are so fast, they're so easy. You can put them in your glass, you can get in your car and drive. You can actually drink a smoothie and drive. You should not scope and drive, but you can drink a smoothie and drive. So that's number 2. Number 3, if you have kids, if you have a picky eater like I was, a smoothie is a great way. Yeah, drink and drive, that's right. Drink your smoothie and drive. It is a great way to get your kids, get some vegetables, get some fruits into your kids' diet. Don't tell them what's in it. Don't sit there and put all the ingredients in the blender right in front of them, because they're gonna freak out and not wanna eat it. So make the smoothie, hand it to them and say, this is great, you're gonna love it, and they're gonna love it. They're gonna drink it and think it's amazing. So if you have kids, it's a great way, or if you have a picky eater, it's a great way to get these fruits and vegetables into their diets. Number 4, it will help you reach your personal goals of health. This is actually a great way. I said it earlier, it is a gateway drug into health. That's what I call it. That's what I call smoothies. They are a gateway drug into your health. It's a tiny step that you can make to start improving your health. But actually, I say it's a tiny step because it's so easy, but it's actually a great step because it is so good for you. You're getting so many nutrients and antioxidants and vitamins and minerals and proteins and all kinds of great things in there. So it's a great way to do that. Number 4, it helps alleviate cravings. So if you're a sweetie, if you like sweets, like me, I'm a sweetie, I love sweets, all things sweet, I love sweets. Hand it over, I want the sweets. If you are craving sweets, smoothies will actually help with that. Last night, I made my dad and I a smoothie for our dessert. That's what we had for dessert last night, and it was amazing, it was great. And we watched a movie and we had our smoothie. So that is a great way to alleviate those cravings for sweets. If you're not a sweet eater, you can also make them savory, and will be a great way to do that as well. Number 6, with certain ingredients, not all ingredients, but certain ingredients, you get this huge list of benefits, okay? So these would be different ingredients throughout different smoothies, but you have the potential to get these effects and these benefits. Number 1, detox, weight loss. Your brain gets a boost. You can get great skin. You can build muscle easier. You can boost your immune system. You can get better sleep. You can fight inflammation. You can get rid of free radicals, things that, in your body that you shouldn't, that you need to defend against. I mean, this is a huge list of things that you can get out of one kind of food. So I highly, highly recommend that, excuse me just a second. They're going to be able to hear you. So, yeah, they're trying to have a conversation and I'm trying to do a broadcast. Come on, people. My dad, my husband. So those are great ways that you can get these different ways to detox, to lose weight, to fight inflammation, to boost your immune system. I mean, there are huge things that you can do to smoothies that will help you with that. So let's talk about the smoothie components. This is a huge list. I should put this on my website. But here's the smoothie components. These are the healthy smoothie components, all right? These are things that are good for you. So number 1, unfrozen fruit. Unfrozen fruit like bananas, pineapples, watermelon, melon, oranges, apples, lemons, limes, all of those types of fruits that you can do unfrozen. Excellent, excellent way. We're going to break those down. We're going to break down the fruits this week, and we're going to talk about what fruit does what and why. If you want certain results from certain things, yeah, frozen bananas as well. If you want certain fruits from certain things or certain benefits from certain foods, we're going to break those down day by day. So tomorrow we're actually going to be talking about the fruits. So if you want to know more about that, then you want to catch me tomorrow and watch the scope. Number 2, frozen fruits, which would be like blueberries or any kind of berry for that matter. Knowing that when we talk about these, that it's organic, because you know me, if you're going to eat anything, if you're going to eat the peel of anything, if you're going to eat a blueberry, you're going to be eating the skin of it, so you need to be buying organic. It is not a clean item to buy if it's not organic. You can get them organic in the frozen section of just about any major grocery store. And yesterday I discovered at Sam's, sorry for those Costco fans out there, but I discovered yesterday at Sam's that you can buy huge bags of frozen organic fruits right there in Sam's, and they are USDA certified. So yes, check for the Dirty Dozen. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, actually. Frozen fruits, berries of any kind, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, berries, deluxe, blackberries, you can get all of those frozen. cherries, pineapples, mangoes, peaches, papayas, grapes. Frozen grapes are amazing in smoothies. Those are all the different kinds of fruits that you can get in there. And then what I like to use nuts in my smoothies. So the next thing I would say is that would be high on the priority list in my smoothie is going to be nuts. I do not make a smoothie if it does not have almonds and walnuts in it. Those are the two things. They are raw almonds and walnuts. I put both of those things in every smoothie that I make because it is a great way to get those nuts and get those essential fats in your diet. And those nuts are amazing for you. If you caught my scope on nuts, you'll know how amazing nuts are for you. So I'll touch on that just a little bit probably tomorrow along with the fruits. But you can do pecan nuts, pine nuts, cashews. You could put any kind of nut like that in there. So. And then the filler flavors, those are that would be number 4 that I would use. Yeah, you could use almond butter. Yeah, single ingredient butter would be absolutely fine. It's not a preference for me, but you bring up a good point there because I don't use it. I don't talk about it very often. But yes, absolutely, you could use almond butter, or I wouldn't recommend peanut butter. I'm not a big fan of peanuts. Cashew butter, those things would be absolutely fine in there and would add a little bit more texture and thickness and creaminess in there. So filler flavors, those are spices and different things that you can put in your smoothies. Those would be like coconut, cinnamon, cayenne, mint, ginger, flaxseed, chia seeds, hemp seeds. There's all kinds of amazing, no peanuts. I don't do peanuts in any form. So those are different things that you can put in there, different spices and what I call fillers in there that just add flavors. Cinnamon is one of my favorite. Ginger is one of my favorite. Mint is one of my favorite. I like all the seeds, flaxseed, chia seed, hemp seeds. Those are all amazing to put down in your smoothie. Sometimes you want them to be sprouted. Like chia seeds are better. They're more available in your body nutrient wise if they're sprouted. So are flax, but they're kind of hard to find. But if you grind them up, it helps a little bit. But yes, so seeds are amazing. We'll be talking about that when we talk about veggies, those different fillers. Veggies that you can put in, leafy greens. Of course, we all have heard of the green monster smoothies with the spinach and the kale and all that sort of thing in there. But you also have to think about you can use other vegetables. So primarily in your smoothie, what you're thinking about is hiding something, right? So especially with kids or picky eaters, you want to hide something that they wouldn't normally eat. I make a spinach. Robin will not touch spinach. He hates spinach. So I make a smoothie that has, in fact, I'll probably make it at the end of the week this week, that has spinach in it, and he loves it. And so he gets those nutrients from spinach right from that smoothie, but he would not conventionally just go out and eat spinach anytime, cooked, raw, otherwise, but he will eat it in the smoothie. So, and he knows it's in there, but it's a great way to get these things into your family's bodies. Sorry, I'm going to move these notes because they're blowing around. So it's a great way to get these nutrients into your family's bodies. So leafy greens, kale, bok choy, you can even put that in there. You can put spinach. You can put arugula, which would be pretty peppery, but you could do that. It has a pretty strong taste, but you could put those things in there. You can put cabbage, celery, cucumbers, carrots, avocados, beets. Those are all amazing foods for your body and amazing things to put into your smoothies. There's a carrot mango smoothie that is so delicious. Oh my gosh, maybe I'll make that for you this week too. I have lots of carrots I just got from the farmer's market. But a carrot mango smoothie, it is so good. So I highly recommend. I know, right? I highly recommend that you think about putting more vegetables in your smoothies. Greens, cabbage, celery, cucumbers, carrots, and beets. We're going to talk about those on Thursday actually. We're going to talk about the different vegetables with the different filler flavors that you can put in there to kind of disguise those. So oh, there's Edison. Can't do a scope without Edison barking. It's an impossibility. So let's talk about liquids. He's going to bark a lot this morning. I'm not sure where he's going there, but okay. So let's talk about the liquids that you can use to make your smoothie more smooth, because a smoothie is blended and smooth. That's why it's called a smoothie. So let's talk about the different liquids that we can put in there. So the liquids, almond milk. Hey, welcome. Almond milk, coconut milk, yogurt, kefir, coconut water, aloe juice, water, ice. You can put all of those things into your smoothie. Those are amazing ingredients to put down into your smoothie. All of those have certain benefits. You can make your own coconut milk. If you go to my website, go2kitchens.com, if you find us on Facebook, you can actually see an episode on there about making your own coconut milk. It is so easy. You can make your own almond milk as well. Whole Health Dana has that information. That's who I'm going to be on the blab with this Wednesday. So yes, you can make all of those things very, 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 very easily. But almond milk, coconut milk, yogurt, kefir, raw milk, coconut water, and aloe juice are all great liquids to put down into your smoothie to make them more smooth. I will say that if you're using a Ninja blender, you definitely need some sort of liquid in there to make it nice and smooth. Because if not, you're just going to have a bunch of stuff beating around in there and it's going to feel kind of chunky and weird. But if you put a liquid of some kind in there, especially if you're using, hey, welcome, if you're putting if you're using a Ninja blender, you'll want to put some sort of liquid in there. So, and those are all the different ones that you can do. There's flavored ones. I would try to stay away from the ones that are sweetened, especially unnaturally sweetened. You want to read the ingredients always. Like coconut milk is really bad about this. They have some that is just raw, regular coconut milk, and then they have some that is sweetened. So you just want to be a little bit careful that they're not, if you're buying sweetened, that they're not using some sort of additive to sweeten it, like a faux food. You don't want any of that in there. So an artificial sweetener, in other words. The other things that you can put in there that make them amazing for you, hey Bren, welcome, is protein powders. So like green powders and protein powders. Protein powders, collagen powders, there are super green products, there are beet products, there are some supplements that you can put down in there that will help. I will tell you that when I know that I have a lot of work to do that day and I really need to focus down and get down and do my work, I put the amino acid GABA in there. I just break it right off into my smoothie. It's just a powder out of the caplet, and it makes it even, it absorbs a little bit faster because I don't have to wait for that caplet to dissolve. And you know, and if you know about GABA, I won't go into details, but it is really good for the brain and focus, and so it helps with neurotransmitters, so I use that sometimes. There's a turmeric that I put in water that you could put in your smoothie. It's going to make it nice and yellow, but you can't taste it. Turmeric is amazing. Like conventional turmeric is going to have a flavor, but this powder, it's called curcumin. It's actually a supplement that I use. You won't be able to taste it in there, so that's an amazing thing to do as well. And then if you need a sweetener, I can't imagine as you start weaning yourself off of sugar, these sweeteners will become less important. But let's say you have a picky eater and they need something in there to make it a little sweet because it feels like a milkshake or a shake or whatever. They need something to make a little sweet. There are some things that you can use that I recommend. Stevia would be okay, but just make sure that you're getting raw stevia. If it says, if you're buying it in a grocery store in the little green packets and stuff like that, that is not really what you want to look for. So you want to be super picky about what you're buying in stevia. Honey, maple syrup, yacon syrup, and coconut sugar would all be things that I would recommend if you wanted to make it a little bit sweeter, but I would only use those in really, 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 really moderated amounts. So you want to use those, you want to use moderation, and think about that before you add that to your smoothie. So there you go. There's all the components that I could think of personally that you want to make, that you would use to make a healthy smoothie. The rest of the week, we're going to break these components down. We're going to talk about different fruits. We're going to talk about different vegetables. We're going to talk about the different liquids and supplements and spices and things that you can do. And we'll end it all on Friday, where I'm going to make a smoothie for you that's going to knock your socks off. So you want to be here on Friday for sure, but the rest of the week as well. So does anybody have any questions? Can I answer any questions for you? My name is Leslie. I have a website, go2kitchens.com. While I'm waiting for some questions to pop up, go2kitchens.com, G-O, the number 2 kitchens. It's right in the title of the scope. You can go there, become a VIP, get a free ebook, How to Fall in Love with Your Kitchen and Yourself, and find out all other kinds of information as well, where I'm going to be speaking, what events I'm at, what blabs that I'm doing. So the best type of blender, that's a great question. I always say, if you go and get my ebook, there's actually a section in there that talks about the essentials that you need in a kitchen. And one of them I talk about for a healthy kitchen is a blender. I always say, buy the best that you can afford. So if you can afford a $500 blender, you should buy a $500 blender. So, okay, yeah, watch the replay, because there was some, I think there was some good information in there. So, I have a Ninja personally. I love my Ninja. I paid a couple $100 for it, and it's an amazing tool. It works beautifully. If you want to buy one at Best Buy and buy their protection plan for like 20 bucks, if anything goes wrong with it, you can take it right back to them and get a brand new Ninja. So just so you know, it's worth the $20. I've only had to do that one time, and that was a couple of years ago. So the like $99 blenders, not going to be as good. Ninja blenders are not going to be as good as the $200 blenders. Just keep that in mind. The difference is the horsepower that you're getting in the motor, so the way that it turns. So a shred emulsifier is what I use. Yeah, I don't know what that is. You'll have to explain. Is it a brand? I saw that there, Gary, but I don't know what that means. So yes, but you know, if you can only afford a $20 blender, awesome. Go get a $20 blender. You're just going to have to cut, okay. You're going to have to just cut your vegetables down into smaller pieces if you are going to use that. See, there we go. $16 blender works great. Yeah, you just need to make sure that your pieces of fruit, Vitamixer, yeah, Vitamix is great. I love Vitamix. I love BlendTech. Those are amazing products. They're just a little pricey and not in everybody's price range. So, but if you're using a $20, a $16 blender, I love that. I would just buy a $16 blender because you can buy a blender for $16. But if you're using that, you just want to make sure that your fruits and vegetables are a little bit smaller pieces. You don't want to like stick a big wedge of cabbage in there because it's probably not going to eat it up. Although your $16 blender may do that. You should do a scope on that. I think you should do a whole scope on $16 blenders because that would be amazing. So yes, buy the best that you can afford. So if you can afford a $500 blender, awesome, buy it. If you can't, don't. Just blend in sections, absolutely. Yeah, so you just have to use your brain a little bit, you know what your machine's capabilities are. I know that my Ninja does not blend it down to super smooth not all at one time. Absolutely. Good point there. Thank you. So I know that my Ninja, it does nuts okay, but hey, welcome in. But it does not make them into like fine, can't taste the texture. So if I'm feeding somebody one of my smoothies, I just let them know, hey, this is going to have a little bit of a texture to it, because I know my Ninja's not going to get it down to just, powder pretty much. So, so yes. Does anybody else have any questions? Just one more time, I'm going to repeat what the week is going to be. If you're just popping in, we're going to talk about smoothies all week. We're going to break down the component, pulverizes. So is it like a juicer? Is that like a juicer, Gary? Chew your liquids. Yep. My Ninja came with 2 other blenders. Yeah, Ninja has all kinds of attachments you can put on it. Absolutely. Okay. It's better than that. Okay, I'm going to have to look at that. You're going to have to send me a picture or something. I'm confused about what that is. So, yay! Ninja, new Ninja owner. Yeah, I love my Ninja. I'm way into that $200 blender. $100 to $200 price range is perfect for me. So, and I like the 3 blades. I like that it has 3 blades down the middle, so I can make big, tall, giant smoothies, and it gets the whole thing. So, and I use it kind of like a food processor too. So I use my Ninja for a lot. That thing gets a workout. My dad was saying the other day, he was like, "That must be a good blender because it gets a workout." And he's right. Sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times a day. So. Yes, you have to be careful with the Ninja blades. When you're washing them, they're super, super sharp. So you need to be careful with them. Good point, Ellen, for sure. So yeah, for sure, for sure. So this week we're talking all about smoothies. We're going to break down the components. We're going to talk about each thing, what's healthy, what's not healthy. On Wednesday, I'm doing a blab. It's at blab.im. Oh, yep. They say hello, Dad. Hi. There you go. 10-speed blender, Target, 16 bucks. I love it. So blab.im, I'm going to be on there Wednesday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 4 Eastern and what is that, 1 Pacific. I'm going to be on there with 2 other wellness experts, and we're going to be talking about protein powders. And I think this is such an important topic. This is such an important topic because it's like egg cartons. There are so many different kinds of protein powders out there. It is mind numbing when you stand in front of the shelf. You look at them and you're like, what am I supposed to buy? I mean, it's just nuts. It's just, thank you so much. It's just nuts. I mean, you look at it. Do I buy whey? Do I buy pea? Do I buy, you know, what kind of protein am I supposed to buy? Should it have collagen? Should it not have collagen? Should it be muscle milk? Should it not be? Should I be buying it for, I mean, it's crazy. So Wednesday at 2 p.m., blab.im, you can go find Go-To Kitchens on there, subscribe to the Blab. It will send you a little message saying, hey, these people are live, and you can watch the replay too. So, hey, Sandman, welcome in. So that's happening on there, and then the rest of the week we're talking about smoothies, and I'll make it up, make a smoothie on, you know, I'm not familiar with that. So many wreck the gut. That's right. They're very hard to process through your system. Absolutely. The protein powders you're talking about. So it's protein. I'm not familiar. I'll need to do some research on that. So I'll make a note when we're done here. I'll go watch the replay and write that down so we can, so I can have an opinion. I love to have opinions. But I don't have an opinion about it now because I don't know what it is. So, yes, so that's happening all week. Okay. Yeah, so go catch the Blab. Maybe I'll talk about it then. So, yeah, if I don't know, I say I don't know, and I'll try to find out. And if I can't find out, then I'll ask you more about it. So yes. All right. So I'm going to go. You guys have been amazing today. Thank you for all your intelligent questions and great comments and great ideas. I love the interaction on here. You guys are amazing. Thank you to all the replay viewers. Thank you so much. If you're watching on catch.me, if you're watching from Go-To Kitchens, if you're watching from any place that this video is going to end up, thank you so much for being here. Excuse me. And I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow. Yeah, you're welcome. That's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Tomorrow we're going to talk about fruits. We're going to talk about frozen, unfrozen, and then we're probably going to talk a little bit about nuts as well as the contents for smoothies. So what to put in, what not to put in. So yeah, you have to watch the replay, Ellen, for sure. So okay, I'm going to go and have some lunch with my family. I hope you guys have an amazing day. You know that I love you. You know that I appreciate you. Go to GoToKitchens.com, sign up, become a VIP. Go find us on Facebook, all social media, GoToKitchens.com, Kitchens.com. And you guys look for more stuff from us because the wheel is starting to turn and the Go-To Kitchen train is coming down the line. So you guys, we have a lot happening and we're so excited about it. So, okay, I'm going to go. Have a good afternoon. Yeah, you're welcome. I see you on there, Ellen. I appreciate you being there. So it's great. Thanks. Bye, everybody. Bye. I'm going to say bye to everybody. Bye. Each one of you that come on here. So, all right. Thanks for the hearts today. We'll see you tomorrow, noon, lunch with Leslie. Bye.